Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed opened the door for negotiations with rebel groups in the country. Abiy was speaking to the Member of Parliament on Tuesday and further indicated that there has been no negotiation so far, but he is open for any future talks with the Tigrayan leaders. He further stressed that there will be no negotiations against the national interests of Ethiopia. So far, there has been no negotiations. I do hear a lot being said about negotiations, but so far there has been no negotiations. However, the fact that we haven't had negotiations doesn't mean there will be no negotiations altogether. Negotiations, dialogue doesn't mean the problem has been solved. It simply means seeing whether there is an alternative route to solve rid of any problem at the moment. Ethiopian federal forces have been fighting rebels loyal to the Tigray People's Liberation Front, also known as TPLF, since November 2020.
In southwestern Burkina Faso, the blast left nothing but devastation. The victims had no chance to escape. The province High Commissioner visited on Tuesday what used to be an artisanal gold site. There, a dynamite stockpile explosion killed at least 59 on Monday. When we arrived, the bodies were scattered, with the 22nd Commando Infantry Regiment officers who came as a security reinforcement. We had to first cordon off the site, then call on volunteers to help us evacuate the bodies to allow the identification of the victims. Injured people were transported a few kilometers away to the regional hospital complex of Gawa. Some are still queuing up as the medical staff enter the race against time to save the victims suffering life-threatening injuries. Teams are working very hard to really take stock of the situation. Some of the wounded have started to be taken to the operating room, and those who can endure have been stabilized first. The toll is still provisional, but at least 55 people have been injured. One person has reportedly been detained, and an investigation was opened. Mohamed Mokrani is a former member of the National Liberation Army, an Algerian group founded in 1964 as the armed wing of the political party FLN, which demanded the end of France's colonization in the North African country. His veteran card is one of the many souvenirs that continue to tell the story of his resistance fighting years. When the pensioner looks at photos and looks back at the Evian Agreement, which cemented the end of the Algerian War of Revolution, he remembers as if it were yesterday.
For us, soldiers, officers and commanders, March 19 was an ordinary day not worth mentioning. And that's because we were still in an ongoing war, except that he gave the date of the referendum, July 3. And the date of independence, July 5, 1962.
On March 18, 1962, France and the Provisional Government of the Algerian Republic signed the agreement. Despite the deal, the fight didn't stop instantly. Mohamed Mokrani can't forget the tense atmosphere which followed the ceasefire.
A few days, 2 or 3, after the ceasefire, orders were given at midnight to hit the French enemy's positions. The military staff wanted to let the French enemy know that whatever they did, we had our finger on the trigger.
60 years after Algeria won independence from France, the two nations still go through multiple crises, often fueled by domestic politics. President Macky Sall received on Monday his counterpart Recep Tayyip Erdogan. On an official state visit, the Turkish president was accompanied by a large business delegation, and for good reason, trade was on the agenda of the leaders' discussion. During the Senegal-Turkey Business Forum in Dakar, they celebrated their cooperation as both nations accomplished their 2018 trade volume objective. I am satisfied with the political relations and economic cooperation between Turkey and Senegal. These are long-standing relations with a solid and diversified legal framework that touch on areas as varied as political consultations, infrastructure, energy, agriculture, education, water, transport, environment, industry, trade, culture, and defense.
L'environnement, l'industrie, le commerce, la culture et la défense.
The greatest display of our close friendship is mainly visible in our trade agreements and investment. In addition to mutual investments, our trade volume is increasing day by day. Despite the epidemic, our bilateral trade volume in 2021 increased by 42% compared to the previous year and exceeded $540 million. As President Sall has just stated, our goal is for that figure to reach $1 billion. As Turkish President visits drew to an end, Senegal and Turkey signed 5 new agreements, including one on security. After his visit to DRC and Senegal, Erdogan will head to Guinea-Bissau on Thursday.
Tourists from several destinations are now returning to Zanzibar after a prolonged period due to COVID-19 restrictions. Travel disruptions will soon be a thing of the past, following the introduction of EDE technology by the local government. This is a new scanning method that can detect COVID-19 virus in the body, the first in Africa.
When it comes to COVID testing, and as you know, all the tests have been very invasive, and this is the first that is non-invasive, and it is the first in Africa. So this is something that we regard as a big success for Zanzibar.
This non-invasive EDE technology has tested nearly 20,000 people with 93% accuracy even before its launch at Zanzibar International Airport.
EDE, that is exponential deep examination. It makes use of the electromagnetic waves that are emitted by the human body, and it captures any changes in these electromagnetic waves which are due to the infection of the coronavirus. So this is how a person is screened as negative or positive. It is very effective because we have already done many studies, many trials. More than 20,000 individuals have already been tested by this new technology, and we have compared our results with the PCR, so it is around 93.5% sensitive.
This is a relief to travelers who can now do without PCR tests and get scanned even 2 hours before their flights.
The experience with the new testing, it's very quick, it's easy, and it's fine. Before, from floodings and nose, and it's no good for, this is the better.
I'm very lucky today to receive all the passengers who came by Dubai.
Despite the local government acknowledging that Zanzibar has not had a positive case since January, caution is still required to resume the normal travels. The objective remains to facilitate air transit and revive tourism in a healthy space away from COVID-19.